I, Christine and I met when I lived out in the Vancouver area, and I was always fascinated by the fact that Christine knew so much about branding, and always had in the back of my mind that it would be great to do a gig with her because we complement each other from the marketing point of view, helping businesses. So I contacted Christine, a few months ago, so that we could start plan on some kind of a webinar series and then bring that to a full day live workshop. And we're planning to do a live workshop in Vancouver at the end of this series, and probably we'll do that at the end of September, 1st of October. And then we're going to do a live one in Edmonton, depending on the demand. And I got my start doing marketing way back. I've been doing marketing ever since I was an adult, practically. And then I realized also as I was doing marketing that we're all in sales. So I've been in sales since I was born. I think we've all been in sales since we were born. And
Yes.
Yeah, we know how to cry when we want food, right? So when I finished my last job and my boss and I agreed to disagree, I decided to put all of my time and marketing into the marketing interest and developed my own brand through that. And I'd been doing podcasting for a couple of years before I really went into my own brand. And I just love doing the podcasting, and I love doing the marketing, and I loved helping people. And sales is basically all about finding needs and finding pain and finding ways to help people ease that pain or fill those needs, right? And I wanted to find somebody that I could work with that we would be able to complement each other, because just doing the social media by itself isn't enough. And I know that the way that I became known was through branding myself. And when I first heard the word branding, I immediately in my mind, I was raised on a ranch, so hope you take this the right way. Branding to me was these big branding irons they'd stick in the fire and they'd get red hot and they'd brand the calves. Every fall we'd wound up all our cattle and we'd brand our calves with "You Lazy You." That was my dad's brand. So
I did the same thing.
Yeah. And so that's really the beginning of branding, right? Our logo was stuck on our cows, and so nobody could steal them. And it's the same with your business. Your logo gets stuck on everything, so everybody knows who you are, and everybody has to follow you everybody follows you as that brand, and they become to know you for that brand. And that's inadvertently what happened to me with my marketing mentoress. And things have just gradually fallen into place by accident. I don't know how I ever did it, but it was just totally by accident. And then I got to know Christine, and I thought in the back of my mind, oh, it'd be so nice to do something together. So here we are.
Thank you. And you know what's really great about that, and before we jump into how today's going to go, what I also got from your sharing, Christine, is that, you know, at any time we can stop and look back at what we did do that was successful and had us be where we are, which sounds like what you did. You kind of built a brand without realizing that's what you were doing, and then went back and retrofit it. And you can see the steps, that things that worked and that didn't work, and then took what you're learning and applying it to what you do now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I would like to hear from Dennis. How did you find out about us, or why are you here today? What's one thing that you'd like to get out of being here today? Any or all of those?
Well, I found out through Christine Till, because Christine and I are in a business networking organization together, and I was impressed with the kind of things she was doing with LinkedIn, and she's helped me with a few things in that regard, and I'm I wear a few hats. I'm a sales manager at the company where I work at New Tech Electrical, and also uh, I just by osmosis took on the marketing responsibility as well. It seemed to kind of just there wasn't anybody doing it, and somebody had to pick up the ball and run with it in some fashion. So I'm doing a lot of fumbling, but trying to make my way through it.
You're doing a great
Awesome.
job, Dennis.
Well, thank you.
So, well, thanks, Dennis, and you know, because you know you've got us one-on-one here, it's going to be a very special day for you, let me tell you. So, thank you for being here. I'm just going to quickly talk about what we're going to do today. First, we're going to do a quick recap of last session, and then we're going to look at some of the different social media platforms that are out there and give you some basic building blocks to get started. And then Christine Till will take over and share more and get more in depth on LinkedIn particularly, so that, you know, she'll give you what you need to get the maximum result. And again, these are very basic tools that we're giving in the webinar. So if you have any questions, save those for, oh, you know what, because it's one-on-one, I'm sure we can be somewhat interactive today. Normally we save those till the end. And then if there's anything that we missed today that you're interested in knowing about, or if there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover, please let us know that as well. And we'll keep that in mind going forward, because we're each time, you know, we're sort of delivering something, but we also want to get feedback from people. What do they need? What do they need? And what are they looking for?
Right.
So all right. So recapping last time, really, we went over what a brand is and what is branding. And branding is really the essence of who you are, whether you're a personality, one person or an organization. And it's also the personality and the value system that drives everything. So it's the essence of who you are as a company. And then branding is really taking all of those things that you're doing out there and truing them up to that essence and foundation. So whether you're putting some stuff on social media, whether it's your logo or your tagline, or what have I got there, advertising or articles, your voice, your visual representation, all of that lines up to the essence of who you are, or the personality. So that in a nutshell is what we talked about last time. And then we touched on a few things using LinkedIn and how to do that. And then today, I don't know if do you want to jump in and say anything else about what we covered last time, Christine? Or do you want to?
No.
Okay. All right, no problem. Thank you. So then today we're going to talk about social media. So I'd like to know, Dennis, are you using any social media now already?
Yes, I am. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter.
Okay. And which one would you say that you use the most?
I use LinkedIn the most,
Okay.
and I have personal and company pages on both as well.
Okay. And why do you use that one the most?
Because it's most business intense.
Gotcha. Okay, great. And good. That's all I really need to know. So obviously I'm just gonna touch on some of the platforms that are out there. There are so many. I couldn't fit them all on this page. But again, these are all social platforms. You mentioned 3 of them already: Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. There's
Google Plus I'm on, but I don't go there very much.
Gotcha. And then there's YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, and of course, there's many, many more. But we just wanted to include the top that people are using now in our demographic. So pretty much Facebook, it's for, it's kind of like the yellow pages. Like if you're not on there, people find you on Facebook. If you're on Google Plus, people can search for you on Google, they'll find you. LinkedIn and Facebook, of course, is about sharing and making requests and doing the whole cat video if you want to on your personal page. And people do use Facebook very effectively for both personal and business pages. LinkedIn, as I'm not gonna talk much about that because that's Christine's area, so I'm gonna leave that for her. Twitter is kind of like Cheers. You can jump on there, stay on there for like, go to the bar for an hour, hang out with people, engage them in conversation, and then leave, come back the next day and do it again. And like, all of these again it's all about consistency. So we're gonna get to that later as well. Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, they're all really growing. YouTube's great if you love video or you love to present things, or say somebody's got an author and they've been doing a lot of blogging and they're just like, I want a new venue. YouTube would be really great for them. They could read chapters of their book or whatever that is. So they're every single one of the platforms obviously has its own specific use, and we're not going to go into detail on all of those. But that's a very quick overview. Is there anything else, Christine, that you can add to that you'd like to say right now? Or
You're doing an awesome job. It is very important to have a Google Plus account, but it's also important. Whenever I post a blog post, the first time it's put out on the internet, I do share it on Google Plus because it helps. See, Google's the most powerful search engine on the net. So if we have that Google Plus account and we do put a post on there regularly, what happens is those little cookie monsters, I call them, they just get all excited and happy because they see stuff on their platform. So they see it first there. And if we're careful to make sure we use keywords on Google Plus or in our blog posts, then those little cookie monsters or search engines find all those words there. Then whenever somebody opens up those blogs on the other platforms, Google search engines are going to find them more easily because they've already found them in that same blog on their own platform. And that's why we need to have that Google Plus account, is so that we are, just like Christine Unterthiner said, it's so that the search engines will be able to find us more easily elsewhere on the internet.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for adding that. And then again, when we're choosing the platform that we want to use, we always want to bring it back to, is it serving the brand? I mean, you can make the platform work for you, but you also want to make sure that it serves your brand. What are you doing? Who are you? What is the company up to? So whether it's you or the organization. I mean, I'm going to speak in generalities a bit because some people brand themselves and they are a brand, like the Marketing Mentress in a way is that, but then you've also got the entity, the Marketing Mentress. It's Christine Till and the Marketing Mentress, right?
Right.
Whereas I'm Christine Unterthiner, but I'm part of Pilot, so we would want to choose platforms that serve Pilot. And then again, I'm going to keep repeating this. Consistency is key. And then the other thing you want to ask yourself when you are doing social media, whatever platform you choose, is who's going to do the work? Is it going to be you? Are you going to have a team working with you that are part of your organization, or do you need to hire out? And then from there, determine how much time you're spending on it so that you can be consistent. So if it's just quick, Twitter might really serve people because they can jump on, go to the bar for an hour and just chat, and then leave. If they can do that every day, that's great. That's not me. I don't have time to do that. So those are the two key questions that I would be asking. Let me just review those. Are you handling it yourself? And if not, who is? And then can you be consistent? So those are just two key questions to ask when you're choosing the platform. And then, oh, I was hitting mute instead of, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
So does the platform serve your brand? I've already said that. And then you want to look at who is your ideal client, where are they hanging out, And are they looking for something specific? And if so, what? So those are key questions that you could ask before embarking down any, jumping on any platform. Really.
Yeah.
And then that way you can also see how are you going to be engaging those people, because a lot of people, when they do, say you are jumping on Twitter, or you can even do this on Facebook, if you're looking, you want to find your clients, follow them, they follow you, and then see what they're posting about. Are they posting about the Canucks? If they're over and over, like they're, they're a Canucks fan, then down the road, you could easily create something for them as a thank you, I don't know, a jersey or whatever it is, whatever is in the budget. You can be really creative, or even just a, hey, wishing you, I heard you're going to the game tonight, have a great time. So it really has you engage with your clients and create that relationship. And we'll get into relationship building a little bit later. Again, on Facebook, you can set, I know several of my clients do a regular thing every week, and they utilize it to do something specific. It's free. It's like they go, I'm going to do 30 minutes of readings. Jump on, type in your question, and then that's what they do for their clients. It's free of charge, but it elevates their platform. Now, where are we at with time, Christine?
10 minutes.
10 more minutes?
Yes.
Oh, isn't that exciting? Okay, keep it simple, of course. Again, this is a recap of what I already said. Your team, or outsourcing. If it's you, does it fit your schedule? And then consistency. Again, whatever you're putting out there, is it truing up? Is it really matching who you are as a brand? All right, so we're going to do a quick exercise. Do you have a pen and a piece of paper there?
You bet.
Okay, I want you to draw a line down the center of the page.
Top to bottom?
Top to bottom. I put an example in.
Okay.
I can't help myself. I love technology and how I can use it, especially from a design perspective. So yes, you'll get all of that on here. So, and then what I want you to do on the top right, make a list of all the social platforms that you know. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. You can take this away and keep developing it for yourself. So I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to do that, or maybe a minute. Or just let us know when you're done, Dennis, because we can't see you.
Sure.
Now I'm curious. I want to know what he looks like.
Okay.
All right. And then on the top left, make a list of how you market yourself now. And that can be using social media or not using social media. It can be anything. And so Dennis, are you here on behalf of yourself, or really to get tips for your company and taking it?
On behalf of the company.
Okay. So whatever they're doing, whatever you're doing.
They don't know it, but that's what I'm doing.
What's that? They don't know it, but that's okay. Gotcha.
If
The
it's,
results is what counts.
yeah.
That's right. And let us know again when you're done.
Okay.
All right, now list on the bottom left all the ways that you just would love to put yourself out there, or you and the company out there, but you haven't either had time yet, you're not sure how to do it, or you're just like, I'd love to do that, but I'm not sure what to do next. And Christine, can you give me like a 5-minute warning? I don't think I'll go over. I'm almost
No,
done. Mhm.
you're good.
Okay.
All right, now what I want you to do is on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being, yes, I love doing this, and 1 being, just circle the things on the top right or left that are a 4 or a 5. Right and left, pardon me. And yeah, I wish I could see.
Yeah,
So circle of things that are 4 or 5.
Yeah, things that you really like, enjoy doing. Let me know if you're circling all of them.
writing.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, great. Now, when you look at that, how many, how many did you actually write on the top right-hand side, and how many did you circle?
On the right-hand side, I put in 5 of them and I circled 2 of them.
Okay, and then on the left?
I put in 3 and circled 2.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, good. So that's a good place to start. Now, what I want you to use the bottom right-hand side for is, so are any of the left and the right a match on the top?
Some are, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, okay, good. So start with those on the bottom right. And then what I really want you to use the bottom right for is to start your new plan. Like, so this is kind of, there's the beginning. This is planting the seeds for you. So you could look at the things that you don't love to do and either see if there's a way to have someone else do those for you, if it's cost effective, or find a way to like them. And maybe I'll find out maybe what one of those is, so that maybe we can do a little bit of work on that. And then just if they don't even, if they're not working for you, then I would leave those and create your new plan using the things that you like in the top 2 on the top left and right, and then including the things from the bottom left that you're interested in. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay. So what's something that you didn't circle on the top right?
I didn't circle YouTube.
Okay. And, oh, I'm sorry, let's go to the top left. What's the thing you didn't circle on the top left?
Twitter.
Okay. Now, is there anyone else that in your organization that would love to do Twitter?
Well, that's a question I'm going to ask and find out, because I'd like to get some more delegating going, and I'm going to be meeting with my staff in other areas as well, setting up meetings to talk with them. So.
Gotcha. So that's great. So now you can take, you sort of, and then what would you like to, how would you like to market yourself more? What did you write down there?
Well, I would like to be posting more information, and it finds that I just don't get it all done.
Okay, gotcha. Now, if you could let go of Twitter, would that give you more time to do that?
Well, I'm not doing enough on Twitter to save any time by not doing it,
Okay.
because basically what I do is, I abbreviate things from time to time, post them on Twitter just so I have something happening there.
Right, right. Okay, gotcha. Well, and did this make a difference for you to like kind of focus in on what you actually want to do and then start creating with your team from there?
I'm not following that, sorry.
Oh, did this exercise kind of give you a better idea of where you're at so that you can now move forward with a kind of a fresh new perspective, or is there
Yeah,
more
I think so, yes.
Okay, good. Awesome. And do you have any questions before I hand it over to the fabulous Christine Till?
I don't think so. Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
You're very welcome. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. What matches? Start creating your plan. I could have clicked that before. Okay. Woohoo. Okay, Christine, take it away. I'm going to mute myself.
I um, I often get questions from people about what is LinkedIn all about, and how do I navigate on there, and what should I post, and how do I reach out to people, and all these kinds of questions, because it's quite foreign to a lot of business people and a lot of sales and marketing people even. And I'm finding that is a regular thing in the Alberta area. Since I've been up here, I've noticed that a lot of businesses have relied almost completely on traditional marketing systems, using print, using cold calling, either face-to-face cold calling or on the phones, cold calling, networking, and just those traditional systems. But we need to think about LinkedIn and any of our social media, any of our online marketing, like each one is a big networking room. So each one is its own networking room. So you go into LinkedIn, you're walking into this big room of all these people. And many times I find that when people get on their social media, they forget that these people are people. And so whether they're in real life or whether they're online, we still need to be aware of, are we selling ourselves? How are we selling ourselves? And how are we coming across to these people that we're connecting with online? So, oops, I lost my link here to the page. People are very, very visual. So one of the things I work with my clients on, oh, your time is up, Christine. I forgot.
Thanks for letting me know.
I used your time. Oh, anyway, so I usually tell people it's really important to have a great profile picture, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, whatever platform it is, Google Plus. Put the same headshot you've got on your LinkedIn or a professional headshot. If you want to have a variety, like myself, I've got several professional headshots that have been done just over the last couple of years, so they're fairly recent. So I put a different one on each platform so that I can remember which platform I'm on by looking at the headshot. First off, it helps me differentiate. I'm getting older. and how we dress for those headshots is really important. So when we go to a networking meeting, a physical networking meeting, and we go to put our hands out to shake hands with somebody, we have 30 seconds to make a great first impression. 30 seconds. Online, we've got 3 seconds to make a great first impression. So it is so important for us to look bigger than life, like put on our best behavior, our best persona, and not to the point where we feel uncomfortable. We still have to be able to be relaxed enough to be ourselves, but we want to be the kind of person that if I were my customer, that I would want to do business with. That's how I think. So I try to put myself, reverse it. So here's about dress. These are just a few little statistics that I discovered over the years. Skirts sell 10 to 1. I don't make up those stats. That's what the stats are. And I've noticed myself, having been in sales, even when I was doing door-to-door, I've been through the whole gamut, door-to-door, telemarketing, all that kind of stuff, network marketing. And I've noticed myself that when I wear a skirt and I'm cold calling, they treat me much better than when I wear slacks. And I can be wearing a slack suit with a blazer and dress slacks and looking really sharp. I don't know why that is. It's just a subconscious thing where people tend to think if it's a woman wearing slacks, is she trying to wear the pants? That's sort of a subconscious thought. And a lot of people don't agree with me on that. And Christine and I have had some agreements to disagree. But I've noticed those statistics seem to ring true with me. And with guys, when they wear dress slacks with a crease where the crease should be, and a dress shirt or a nice ironed polo shirt, if they're doing door to door and they're in that kind of an industry where they really don't need to dress up that much, if you have a crease where the crease should be and your shirt is pressed, those sell 10 to 1. If you go in wrinkly jeans and a wrinkly shirt, you'll notice a big difference in your sales. I'm sure you've noticed that, Dennis, in your sales staff. And with grooming, it is brushing our teeth. And beards, clean shaven faces sell 10 to 1. And I notice you don't have a beard, so preaching to the choir here, I'm sure, Dennis. And when you walk tall, you put your shoulders back, you hold your head up, but not so high that you're stuck up. But it just gives that air of confidence. And how you speak and the voice that you use, it shows confidence. And always think of ways that you can make comments in a positive way. And I'll give you an example. I went to a networking meeting in Calgary with a group, Calgary Womanition Group. And people were arriving, and this one gal comes in and she flops down in her chair and she says, "Oh, it's so expensive to come here. I don't know why I come here. I come here every month." And she's just pounding the table and she's ranting. None of us wanted to even get close to her. She drove her possible clients away from her because she was being negative. So it's really important for us to keep that positivity with whatever we're doing. And if we're going to be negative, do it all by ourselves in our bedroom where nobody can hear us. And when we're in sales or when we're in business or own our own business, targeting our market is huge. And if we're thinking about our potential clients, and we've had some clients already, and we think about where are our clients coming from, what age bracket, like boomers versus Generation Y and the millennials, like what age bracket tends to go for our product and service. And you can do that through LinkedIn. You can target your age bracket and your generation. And what culture or nationality, or does that play a significant role in the kinds of clients that want to deal with us? And then you move on to what you're going to say to your people. So once you've targeted your market and you figured out where they're coming from and all those statistics that you need to put together about who your possible clients are and what's their pain, that's another thing. You want to start thinking about, what do I say after I say hello? I've been to so many just networking meetings where I've walked in and I've seen people sort of, maybe one person hanging back in the corner and really not reaching out and saying hello to people, and everybody else is standing around and going around saying hello to everybody, and they're sort of hanging back. And I'm thinking, why are they here? Well, they want to be there to market themselves and their business, but they don't know what to say to people. And so one thing that I learned, I think it was Dale Carnegie, FORM, Family, Occupation, Recreation, Message. And yes, is it Dale Carnegie?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. And so he said money, I think, the last one, but I changed it to message. So we can talk to people. Lots of times for people, because during those questions that I ask them, like how's your family doing? What is it you do for work? How'd you get started doing that? What inspired you to do that? And what do you do when you're not at work? What's your favorite activity? That kind of thing. And you try and steer the conversation to your product or service. If during that conversation they don't show any interest whatsoever, or they don't qualify. For instance, with my company, I'll just give you an example. If I'm talking to somebody and I find out that they're an employee for a company, and the company has been very negative about using any kind of social media, and they have no profile on LinkedIn, the company hasn't even started doing that, it's no use me even giving the message to that employee that I'm meeting at a networking meeting if they're not going to have support from the top heads of the company. So that's the kind of thing I'm meaning here. So we like to work or do business with people we know, like, and trust. And everywhere we go today, we hear this: build, know, like, and trust. We want people to get to know us and to like us so that they can trust us. And, you know, if my tire goes flat on my car and I don't know anybody in the tire business, I'm going to go to the first tire store that I come by, right? Or that I find in the phone book. But if I know somebody who's in that business, you can bet your boots I'm going to go to that person that I've met at my networking meeting. So Dollar Club has a tire guy. I'm not going to go to the place I've been going to, because the place I've been going to never sends me a card, never sees me. I go there, change my tires, give them my money. They say thank you very much, and then I never hear from them all the next 6 months until I have to go get my tires changed again. They have no idea what they're missing if they don't network and keep their face in front of people. And here's the statistics on newspapers, which I was fascinated to find. It takes 17 times being in the same publication consecutively before people begin to respond to that ad. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to buy from you by then, but they're going to start maybe giving you a phone call and asking you some questions, that kind of thing. So if you go to networking meetings, the statistics say 7 times, seeing somebody 7 times at a consistent networking meeting builds enough know, like, and trust for that individual, for somebody in that group who's seen you that many times to want to do business with you. That's amazing. Look at the difference in the number of times.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. So LinkedIn, and in fact, all the online social media, they're all about building relationships. And the term that is commonly used is being social. When we go to a networking meeting, we're being social, right? When we're online, we need to remember to be social with people. So we're wanting to find out about people. So when somebody connects with us and we haven't met them before or don't know that much about them, it might be a good thing to respond with a message that says, "Hi, how are you? It's great to have you in my network. I'd love to find ways we can collaborate with each other. Tell me, what inspired you to start doing whatever their business is," right? And they always, it's an open-ended question, and they usually always get back to me and tell me. I always tell them at the end, I look forward to reading the rest of your story. So the conversation is being turned to them. And now I can't see my slide. It all disappeared.
Sorry, I just lost visual, so I just want to reconnect. Give me 1 second. I apologize.
You just have to reshare the screen.
I'm gonna get back there right now. I just didn't want to, because I couldn't come off mute, and I was like, oh my God. Dennis, bear with me. It'll just take me a second. Please.
That's fine. Well, this way at least I get to see a big picture of your face, you see?
Well, you have the advantage because I can't see you at all. Wow.
No, you're not missing a whole bunch. That's okay.
So Christine, we were at know, like, and trust. No, we were at building relationships.
Building relationships,
Okay.
that's correct.
Let me just get back here. Share screen. I don't know what happened. 1 second.
When you share your screen, you have to click on your PowerPoint.
Yeah. Let me just try again here. There we go.
Voila.
Yay.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah. And
Mission accomplished.
See, it probably didn't even take a minute.
yeah. You know, we're so spoiled today because everything is like bing, microwave oven all the time.
Yep.
So fast.
Okay. There we go.
Well,
We're
there
back to
we go.
where we were.
So I also wanted to talk about some of the key things that we need to use in order to build those relationships with people online. And we need an email database. And there's a way that you can download all of your connections on LinkedIn to a CSV file, like Outlook or Outlook Express. And then you can be able to send messages to all of your connections on LinkedIn. And that is huge, absolutely huge to be able to do that. And then you can send a request for them to if you've got an ebook or some kind of an online, maybe a DVD teaching them about some special tips for your product or service that they can subscribe to, or a newsletter that they can subscribe to if they sign up for your database, because people have to be double opted in now to be on an email database.
Well, that's right. I have a PDF that I created, which is a hints and tips for business technology solutions.
Awesome.
That
great.
That people can download if they opt in
Yeah,
to my AWeber account.
that's great. That is awesome. And so then your social media, it also needs to be connected to your website. It needs to be listed on every piece of material that you send out online, all your links to all of your media. So I don't usually put my Google Plus out there on my links, but I put my basics, my LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter accounts. And you can get little favicons, they call them, little tiny buttons that you can upload and attach your link to. Then you'll see that on the bottom of my emails. I have a LinkedIn, a Facebook, and a Twitter favicon, so that they.
I just implemented that throughout our company last week to make everybody's signature file consistent, and I've included our company logo with a link to our web page and logos for LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter with links to our accounts there.
Awesome. That is great. Oh, I love it. You're on board, boy.
It's music to my ears. I love consistency.
Well, the thing is, it was all over the map in terms of what people were doing, so I just said, we've got to change this and be consistent.
Yes.
It really does make a difference.
So
people notice, like, they may not really, like, they may not go, oh, they may not know, I can't talk. They may not go, oh, that guy's emails, but they'll notice when you start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
It just gives the company that bit of an edge to the competition, right? It's all about making yourself different from your competition. How are you different? And so if you can have, and this is something that's really important with social media and online training, have a little training session. And if you wanted to bring someone like myself in to do a little training session with your entire sales team, then we could make sure that all of the profiles from everybody in your company are set up the way you want them to be set up for the company. So each person's profile is their own profile, but we can bring a photographer in, for instance, and get a headshot done for everybody in your office there or in your company, so that all of their headshots look great on their profiles, and then have the same headline right underneath their name. Everybody has the same headline in there. And then in the summary can talk about themselves, but you have a paragraph that everybody puts in their summary that is the same on everybody's profile. And then they can put their own experience, they list that, and their first experience should be the company that they're presently working for, which is your company. Isn't that right, Dennis?
Yes.
Yes. So then you work on through the profile, and you make sure for all of the specialties where people can endorse you, you need to make sure that all the specialties are consistent throughout the whole company, so that when people are getting endorsed, those endorsements are consistent.
Okay.
Well, recommendations don't work as well that way. And also groups. When you join groups, everybody in the company needs to join the same groups so that there's that consistency. And then when you do your company page, which we talked about a few weeks ago, we had a one-on-one, Christine, just to catch you up a little bit. So Dennis and I met, and I was working with him on his company page. Then all the staff that are working for your company will show up automatically on that company page. So then if anybody clicks on any one of your staff's profiles, they will see that consistency throughout the whole company. And that is huge. Even Coca-Cola hasn't got that done right. They can always perfect that a lot better than what they're doing. And I've noticed that with a lot of companies, they need to sit down or have somebody professional come in and teach them and all of their organization how to create that consistency throughout the whole team. So once you have your LinkedIn, then you need to set up Twitter, and you set up, I'm talking too much. You set up a background picture for everybody's profile that is the same picture. So whatever it is that you've got on your profile, everybody should be using. So we've already been talking about the picture, and if we can just move through this, and make sure that they don't leave gaps in their work history, and that they mention volunteer work. That speaks volumes to people when they're looking through a profile. If they see volunteer work, I have people comment all the time on the fact that I'm a volunteer speaker for the Arthritis Society. In fact, I get people that I meet in business asking me, "Oh, would you come and give a talk on arthritis at, this group that I belong to?" That kind of thing, which is something I just do as a volunteer. And when you invite people to connect with you on LinkedIn, never invite people you do not know. So here's what happened to me. When I first got on LinkedIn, I thought that all those people that LinkedIn suggested I may know, I thought LinkedIn meant for me to invite them all to connect with me because LinkedIn thought they'd be a good match for my business. So I just sat there inviting for hours on end. I'd sit there in the evening after hours clicking on connect, connect, connect. Well, I got sent to LinkedIn jail. My account got frozen because you only have to have 5 people that say they don't know you, which means I IDK'd, and I had to copy the terms of use, sign the terms of use, and also send a copy of my driver's license and send that into LinkedIn so that they would know that I was not a bot. There are a lot of fake profiles now on LinkedIn, and they were starting to get a lot of fake profiles way back when I got started on the platform. And they were trying to fight to figure out ways to put an end to all the spamming that was going on, people sending messages to people without permission. So you can send invitations if you know the people. And I always say it to everybody. You know that shoebox full of business cards you got in the corner of your office? just pull it out and invite all those people to connect with you because you've met them, you've got their card, and chances are they aren't going to IDK you. So I've already explained about the IDK. Are we just about done my section? Because my time is over.
Yeah, you're here. Let's go to the next slide. You're talking about groups, and I think that's almost it.
Yeah. So
You've
group,
got, hold on, I'll just tell you, you've got groups are the key, rules of 10, and then the quick recap, and then we're done.
okay, so the groups are the key to networking. And this is so important for your group, for all your people to be in the same groups. So you want to join groups that are, and you mine them. The most of the groups you join are going to be there. You're going to be in them because you're going to mine those groups. And I think in the next section, what I'll do is in our next webinar, I'll really go into the groups because those are the key to LinkedIn.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I won't go into too much. You just want to make sure that you find people that you want to know for business. You want to do business with them and avoid pitching. It's all about them. It's not about you or it's not about me. It's about them. Next slide. So here's the rule of 10 posts. For every 10 posts, so it's whether you do 10 posts a day, 10 posts every 2 days. I like to try and do 10 posts every 2 days or 10 posts a week. I don't recommend you go more than 10 posts over 2 days because if you really want to know these Twitter stats, we need to be posting 15 times a day on Twitter to get them to notice us on Twitter. I don't post 15 times a day. I'm lucky if I get 4 to 6 or 8 posts a day on Twitter. And 6 of those posts that you post are reposts. So they're blogs that you've read, they're quotes from Abraham Lincoln, TED Talks from YouTube, great material that you think your people that are following you or connected to you would enjoy. And 3 of them are things that you write yourself. And you're not pitching, but always attach your links at the bottom of those posts. Now, 1 is a pitch. So out of 10 posts, 1 is a pitch, inviting them to a webinar, inviting them to a free workshop, that kind of a thing. And so that you can get people to start, because the whole idea, the big secret to marketing online is building the relationships online and then pitching them to a face-to-face. You want to get them to a face-to-face because that's where real business gets done. We as humans are gregarious and we need that face-to-face in order to be able to consummate a deal. So recap.
Yeah, I'm just going to say again, does the platform serve your brand? So when you're looking, you really want to look at that. And I can see that my little points are coming in the wrong order. So I'm just going to click them all. So you want to see where do your clients hang out and what are they looking for? And you can really get a lot of data, as Christine said, by, seeing where they are, what are the groups, what are they posting about, and then just really keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can just be like you said, the 6 posts are reposts, the 3 are your own, and then the 1 is a pitch. Again, who's your team? Is it you? And if it doesn't fit your schedule, I would say don't do it if you're not going to be consistent, because consistency is the key. I'm going to keep saying it over and over.
No kidding.
So thank you so much for attending. Do you have any questions before we go?
So I think this was really good. There's I still have a question from the past in regard to LinkedIn. When we talked about our business page on LinkedIn, I've got 3 showcase pages as well. I still can't load the background picture for the business page.
Okay.
I've uploaded there and can't put it up yet. It just doesn't go there. It just sits.
So here's what's probably happened. Did you get it specifically digitized to fit the company page, or is it just a picture that you found?
I created it in the size for the specifications given.
Okay.
I sized it appropriately and then positioned it, you know, and I did the same kind of thing with the other pages I have on there, the showcase pages and so on, and it all worked.
Well, here's an idea you might want to try. You can go to, just to get a simple resizing, so you don't have to pay a lot of money, because if you go to a graphic designer, they're going to charge you for resizing. But I go to Fiverr.com, and if it's for just something really simple like that, to resize, to make sure that all the dimensions are the same, because the dimensions for the company page on LinkedIn are different from the dimensions on the profile page. That's what my graphic person told me.
Yeah.
So, and they'll do that for something like $12.50.
Also, there's some really great free programs out there that you can use. I mean, there's a bit of a learning curve there too, but you could go, if you want to know what I don't know them off the top of my head, but my info's right there. Or you can ask Christine and I'll email her the info. I think there's a couple that you can just do right online even.
Well, I actually sized these myself based on the specifications given.
Okay.
And it just didn't upload. It was there and went through the process, but
Well, there's
it wouldn't work. And I tried different pictures as well, did different things. And
yeah, obviously there's something missing, and so I've opted to go and get somebody else to do it, because my time is valuable and I don't have time to be sitting and trying to figure out how to resize things.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm not a graphic person.
But you're saying you resize it, but it's not loading. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. Maybe that's something you can follow up with him on, Christine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I sent a request into LinkedIn about it, a question about it, but they weren't helpful at all. So.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
Well,
they're not the ones to ask.
even though they built the system,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for participating. This was great. It's lovely to meet someone new and to be able to impart something of value. That's what we're here for, and so it delights us every time. And I put my own quote this time, not from me, but from someone that I admire. And again, this is again about consistency over the long term. Most businesses are not playing the marathon, they're playing the sprint. They're not worried about lifetime value and retention. They're worried about short-term goals. And really, it should be the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
we want, like for the clients that I've had the longest, I mean, I've had some clients for 15, almost 20 years, and it's amazing. And it's the game I want to play, is really giving value so that they are long-term clients. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation. It's fantastic. Good to get to meet you as well.
You too.
Thank you, Dennis.